everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kristen with Monarch Plans, and today I am so excited because I'm finally able to show you guys my products that I got from Makselife for their 2023 release. I was able to order a few things so I could be part of their review crew this year, and I am just so excited. The products this year are absolutely beautiful, and they really listened, I think, to some feedback that they've gotten. And they're just continuing to improve their products, which is always really exciting, especially for a relatively new company. So I'm gonna go through the things that I got. I really got kind of an assortment of their different types of planners. I will be talking about the prices, and I'll also mention some of the other items that I didn't get and give you prices of those. So I'm hoping this video can kind of be like a one-stop spot for you to get information, even if I'm not showing you the actual items on camera, but I do have a lot of things to show you, so hopefully you find that helpful. I also will kind of touch on the digital items that they have available. I won't be showing you like a walkthrough or anything like that, but I will talk about pricing. I'll talk about what they have available on like the digital side of things. Hopefully that's helpful also. They have so many things available this year, so I'm trying to make sure that you have as much information as possible before things launch on the 20th. So let's just get started. I got a Flagship planner here, and it comes in this box. Every single planner, there's 4 different cover options, and the 4 different cover options have different boxes that come with them. So this one is specifically for the planner cover that I got, which is the Watercolor Sunrise. I am so in love with this planner. I love the quote on it. I love the artwork. It just spoke to me when I saw it. It's just beautiful. And there's a couple other options for the cover. Like I mentioned, there's Blackberry Fields, which is kind of like a purple color with some flowers, some berries, stuff like that on it. There's a Modern Chevron, which is kind of like a more of a gray, purple, blue type chevron design. And then there is Leatherette Storm, and that one is just very plain gray. And I know what they were trying to do and what they wanted to do is they had so many requests in the past for planners that were kind of useful or could be used by men as well. And obviously men can use these covers if they want to, but there were some people just requesting a very neutral plain planner. They could be taken to work. It could be, used by husbands, boyfriends, any type of male friends, anything like that. So they weren't having to choose something that they might not be comfortable using. So I got the Watercolor Sunrise. I'm just gonna take this out of the box. I will mention really quickly before I put the box aside that it is a very sturdy box. This is definitely one that can be like kept and reused over and over again. I know there's some boxes that are really thin cardboard that some planner companies send out with their planners, or sometimes they don't even send a box. This one is one that can definitely be kept and reused because it is like very sturdy, thick cardboard. So that's kind of nice, especially when they have a cute design on them. So immediately my first impressions of this are they're on the outside aren't a lot of changes other than the design of the cover in terms of comparisons from this year to last year's. The one big difference is that the coil is a different color. It's just kind of a brighter gold color that really matches. I think the gold color on previous versions was a very dull gold. It was just a different color. Now they have more of like a vibrant true gold, which I really like. They still have the elastic closure here to keep things closed. The covers are still thick, they're hard, so you're not gonna have to worry about things getting bent. And then the back has the Makselife branding on the back. And in the scheme of things, this planner is very plain on the back. The front just has this artwork. But other than that, the main focus is this quote. It says, "There's a past version of yourself that is so proud of how far you've come." And I honestly think that that is just so true. And it's something I want to remind myself of consistently in the next year. So let's start looking inside the planner. So we have here, the inside matches the box. So that is, I think, what they were doing with each of the different planners, was matching the box to the inside of the planner. You have here just the intro page, and then you get into some of their descriptions and everything. For the most part, the inside pages, the content of them, in terms of like what is actually in the planner is really similar. It's just a lot of the design elements that are a little bit different in terms of colors, kind of shifting things around a little bit. And then they do kind of change their intro goal setting section a little bit each year just based on feedback. So there's nothing that is a huge change compared to prior years, but things just get tweaked as there's more feedback that comes in. So you have the intro page here, and then you get into the goal setting. What I'm gonna do is I'll probably flip through relatively quickly, but if you need to pause it, you can on any of these pages to read a little bit more. But essentially, this is just an introduction to your planner and explaining kind of what this planner is, and then how you can use it. So here's steps to kind of use the planner the most effectively. And then when you get over here, it really takes a look into the compass assessment. You have your compass assessment example and your kind of process for getting that done, as well as kind of an in-depth look of what that process looks like. You have the compass assessment scoring section. So you go through and you label and score each of these areas, and then that will help you fill out your compass. So that hasn't really changed in terms of that being available. I'm not sure if each of the individual line items have changed, but I think for the most part, they stay pretty similar year to year. You have a spot for your intentions and your word of the year. And then you have a spot for setting goals. So really get into using the info you got from your compass assessment and get into the goal setting side of things. I'm not gonna go into much detail on this. I can do a more detailed video when I'm actually going through and setting my goals, which I think is what I'll do. And I'll kind of give examples at that point, kind of what I'm doing to go through this process. But I'm just doing a quick flip through here. So if you're interested in really kind of a deep dive into this process, I'll have a video a little bit later this year. But there's different types of goals, how to write goals, how to do the different types of goals in terms of annual, monthly, and weekly actions, and then how to reflect effectively, which is really helpful. You have some examples of different things you can consider in each of the areas of life, which Makselife has 8 areas of life. They have personal, fun and recreation, work and learning, family and relationships, health and wellness, spiritual and personal growth, financial and physical environment. And these have stayed the same throughout the past couple years. So it's really nice that things have stayed pretty, straightforward, similar year over year. So there's not a whole lot changing in that respect. So you're not constantly having to redo your categories or anything like that. You have some space here just to make lists or just kind of do whatever you want to do. So that's kind of nice to have a little spot to get some things down on the paper. Then you get into your annual goals. What I really like this year is they included dot grid in here. So there's little tiny dots everywhere, so you can really line up your writing if that's something that matters to you. I think in prior years, this was just blank. So it was kind of hard to write straight, all that kind of stuff. So they put dot grid in here, which is really nice. You have 4 of your goals on here, including a little line for the focus. And then you have the rest of the goals on this next spread. Again, with a little line for focus and how your life will improve by reaching these goals. Finally, you have your vision board section. So you have these 2 blank pages. There's nothing on them, so they're completely blank, not dot grid, nothing like that. So you can find what it says, images, words, phrases that resonate, and put them here to kind of remind you of your goals. And really keep reminding you of your vision. So that is a really good thing to have in your planner. And then before we get into the months, you have goal setting quick tips. And so you can go through and read these bullet points, but it's essentially just the quick little help items before you jump into your first month. So as you can see, the goal setting section is relatively small. There is obviously your compass assessment, and you're able to set some intentions and everything after you do your assessment. And then you do your specific kind of brainstorming of your annual goals, and then your vision board. And that's pretty much it. So I know some planners, like the power sheets and everything like that, have a really in-depth prep process for coming up with your goals, but that's not the case with Makselife. So that's something I'll discuss also when I'm talking over my goals process. But what I find is that there is a ton of support in the Makselife group on Facebook. If you are able to join Club Moxie, that is another really good option for developing your goals. I think that would be something maybe at the beginning of the year, doing that first quarter of Club Moxie would be really helpful. So you get access to kind of that group who all have that similar mindset of goal setting, and just the support that comes with it. So even though the actual part in the planner is really small, I think the community itself offers a lot that I personally didn't really get from other goal setting groups that I was in and have been part of. So that's just something to consider. I know some people are kind of comparing different options, and that's one big difference, but I honestly feel like I get more support through Makselife than I do from other planner brands, if that makes sense. So let's jump into the months to talk about what is going on with the months and what's different. So you see the design itself is just a little bit different than prior years. You have a quote here. It's just very, very simple, but what's really nice is that it really just caters to everybody. So like I said, they have designs now that really are versatile for men, for women, for work, for home, all of that stuff. And what's nice is you have this if you want to use this for something specific. So I am thinking about potentially using this area on each of the tabs as like a spot to put just something maybe to motivate me, something like that. I don't know. I don't know if it's something where I'll like pull from my vision board that I put over here and kind of redo a little mini like monthly vision board. I'm not quite sure, but I actually really like the empty space. So I'm kind of excited to see what I can come up with for this area. Here you have just your monthly spread. It starts on Sunday. There's not an option for a Monday start. So I know that some people prefer that, but that is not an option currently. It goes Sunday through Saturday. It is this very kind of light blue color. It's a very neutral blue, so it's not something to be too concerned about. And then you have this notes section on the far right side, as well as a quote at the top. You then have a spot for your goals, your monthly goals here, and it has all 8 on this spread. So you're able to take your annual goals that you set and break them into monthly goals. And then over here is where we get into the weekly actions. You have the first spot here of dot grid where you're able to do some reflecting. You can kind of assess how maybe you want the month to go, all of that sort of thing. But there's always a little like tip at the bottom or some type of little tidbit of information down here that is really helpful. So I really love that. I'm glad that they kept that. So that was something that I was worried they were potentially going to get rid of. But then you have your weekly actions. Really not a whole lot different. I just know that they kind of redesigned how these look. It's not really super different, but the colors themselves are the same. It's just kind of the icon design and how it looks is just a tiny bit different. Noticeable if you've been in the Makselife for a little bit, but not like crazy different where it throws me off or anything. And then you get into the weekly spread. I got the vertical. There also is a horizontal layout. So you see here that it is just very open here. It's Monday through Sunday. So there's 4 days over here, 3 over here, and then the sidebar is on the right side. So that is something a little bit different. Some planners have sidebar on the left, some have it on the right. So this one has it on the right, as well as a built-in habit tracker, which is pretty nice. So you don't have to have a sticker or create your own habit tracker. And then there is just a section on the bottom here, has a little heart, and that's just a reminder to do some gratitude work, but you obviously don't have to use this for gratitude if you don't want to. So really very versatile spread, which is what I really love about this planner. Also, I will say that the planner is, it looks like this is kind of in a January section. Let me see here. January section, and it's just gray. I don't think that there's any color. So I think in prior years, there might have been some color on the spread, and that's not the case with this version. So after that, you just have your dot grid again to do your lessons, adjustments, wins, all of your reflections and assessments for the prior week, and then setting your new weekly actions, and then again another week. So that just repeats until you get to the end of the month. And so the last week of the month is followed by a monthly reflections page. So when we get into future months, there's not a whole lot different. The color of the month changes. So February is now like a red and pink color, but everything in here really stays the same. Again, there's no color on the actual spreads themselves, so that stays pretty consistent throughout the whole planner. The only thing is that at the end of each month, you have your monthly reflections, but at the end of the first quarter is where you have a quarterly review. So I'm just trying to get to that section. So the end of March, you have your monthly reflection, but it's followed by a quarterly review of your compass. So you can go through, reassess, and redo kind of your compass assessment and see where you've changed. So you have your current and your previous, and you're able to see where your score has changed, and then do some reflections at the bottom. So they have you do that every single quarter, which is pretty nice because you're constantly reassessing and making sure things are still working, or adjusting focus if you're noticing something is slipping that you need to work on instead. There's a page here for reflections if you want to, which is really nice as well. And then you get into the next month. So that is pretty much what each month looks like. It's just a repeat each time. So I can go through things in more detail when I start making my actual goals and everything. But let's head to the back of the planner to see what is going on back there. So at the end of the year, you have your quarterly compass for quarter 4. So you can go through and do the compass assessment again here. That's essentially just looking at the last quarter. And then in general, this is just looking at the last quarter, but what then you can do is move into your next Makselife planner. And that's where I'll usually do some reflections on the year as a whole, and then kind of go through the goal setting process for the upcoming year. So there's not like a full year review in here, but there is that last quarter compass assessment. You do have a tab for extras in here. So if you look here, you have 2 years at a glance, 2023, which would be the current year for this planner, and then 2024, and some spots for important dates. And then you have a bunch of blank note pages in the back. They're just lined, so there's no dot grid or anything. And then you have this harder cardstock pocket in the back, which is kind of nice. It's double-sided. And then here are some stickers that are built into the planner. So there's really just a lot of goal category ones. There's some flags and tabs, stretch goal, and then some color coding dots if you are interested in color coding your goals. In the very, very back, there is a pocket here. It's like a really soft like cardstock. It's the same fabric or the same paper as like the inside cover. And I don't really think you could tear it. I don't obviously want to try, but it's almost like the accordion sides or like a ribbon type like woven material. It's kind of hard to explain, but that is it for the Flagship planner. And again, it comes in horizontal, it comes in vertical, and it comes in multiple cover options. So those are, there's 4 of them, and there are a lot of different affiliates that are looking at the different types. So keep an eye out if there's a certain cover that you're interested in. I'm sure you can find someone who's covering and reviewing that one. The vertical Flagship planner, so this planner is $76 on launch day. And again, everything launches on October 20th. And so this is, like I said, $76 on their website. The next item I will be looking at is the daily planner. So they had daily planners last year, and that last year was the first year for their daily. They went through and they made some adjustments based off of feedback. One of them was they changed the cover to be a lot thinner. One of the feedback items they got was that the cover was really hard to move on the coil because it was too thick and it was just taking up a lot of room on the coil that was kind of unnecessary. So they went through, it's still a vegan leather cover. It's still very, very sturdy, but they just made it thinner so it's way easier to turn on the coil and it doesn't get really stuck or anything like that. So that is a big improvement that I've noticed in this planner so far. But the outside of it, it's still coil bound like it was last year, which I really like. And then it has the gray strap here. It comes in 4 different colors and they're all plain. So there's Sky, Storm, Cloud, and Luna. This is Sky. It's like a light blue, almost teal. Storm is a gray color. Cloud is like an off-white, whitish color. And then Luna is a really dark teal, which I can show you something that's Luna colored in just a few minutes. But this is the Sky color. And if we get in here, I'll just kind of do a quick flip through again. I think my Flagship review was like probably a little bit longer than I want to go on some of these other items, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit. The daily is undated. It is just 1 quarter, so that is something to keep in mind, is if you do want to go daily, you'll need to get 4 of these in order to do an entire year. So you have your intro page, and then you have the same goal setting that you do in the Flagship planner, where it goes through all of the different steps and all the information relating to the life compass. So you have your life compass assessment and everything here. And then you get into how to set goals, types of goals, some brainstorming areas, and then your actual goals in here, your vision board, and then your quick tips, and then you get into the actual planner. So these will come in every single planner you get, regardless if you're using it the first quarter or not. So keep that in mind. You're always going to have this first section. Then you get into the first tab. So it's undated, like I mentioned. So you can go through and you can date these however you'd like. You can do your monthly goals here. Then you have your weekly actions. So you're able to just hop right in. And then you have this weekly overview page that is really useful for just laying out your week, which then you can hop into your daily pages over here. So this is a really nice page to have. So you just have that weekly overview, because I know there's a lot of people that really like having daily pages, but also want some type of way to summarize their week so they at least know what's coming. So when you look at the daily pages, these didn't really change from what I can tell from last year. So you still have areas for checkboxes, you have some focus areas or priority areas up here, and then you have some areas for like time sensitive things or appointments. There's these little, it's like you can tell that they're meant to put times in because they have the little colons in there to represent a time. And then the bottom is this dot grid with the 3 gray boxes. So this is a really versatile layout if you're kind of looking for something that you can kind of customize based on what you need. There are obviously 7 of those spreads in the week. That's something important to also note, is that it is undated. So when you are setting this up, you do have separate pages for a Saturday and a Sunday. So that is really nice. You have section here for your reflections. The one thing that's different in the daily planner is it doesn't have the little kind of notes or suggestions or lesson type things at the bottom. You can buy those as like a sticker from the Makselife website if you're interested in having those, but they didn't want to put them because it would be the same in all of the different quarters. So it would just be you'd be getting the same thing 4 times. So they have those to buy if you're really interested in them, but they are not included in here just when you buy the planner itself. You then get into another week here, and every single week is the same. And then at the end, you have your monthly reflections. You get into your next month, which is again the same. And then your final month is again the same thing. It doesn't have anything at the end here has a monthly reflection, but you then have an assessment tab at the back, and you're able to do your quarterly assessment and your quarterly kind of reflection and overview over on this side. So it's nice that it has kind of a separate tab here, so you really just have these pages. What I think is kind of nice is that if you wanted to, you could then take these out of this planner and put them into your new planner if you're doing another quarter. So then you're not having to like redo your compass assessment and everything every single quarter twice in your new planner and your old one. So that's just something you might consider. And then you have your extras at the back. Again, you have future plans. It doesn't lay out a specific year or any specific months or anything because this is undated. So you can write in your months and you can plan out ahead if you want to. And then you have a bunch of lined pages at the back here. And then at the very back, you have the little paper pouch. And they also give you, this is something that is kind of nice with the dailies, they give you tabs so you can label your blank tabs. So you can't really see it very well, but each of these has a tab and they're labeled with white font. So you can then label all of your tabs in your planner. So that is located in the back pocket here. You have stickers again in here built in, and then you have your pocket at the back again. So that is it for the daily planner. I really, really love this. I love the one last year, but I think the thing that really does it for me is the cover, because I know last year I was trying to use the daily and it just really got in the way to the point where I'm pretty sure on one of my dailies I cut the cover off, which is a really big deal because it's leather, like vegan leather, Saffiano, and I really didn't want to, but it was really hard for me to open up my planner and like put the cover all the way back around. So they really improved that with this one. And not to mention the covers were improved, but the cover colors this year are just amazing. I love the colors that they have for the collection for 2023. So that is it for the daily. If you have any questions about that, let me know. The daily comes in an A5 size versus the flagship is a 7x9. So that is also something to keep in mind, is the A5 size is a little bit smaller. The dailies, the undated dailies are $58. So like I said, if you're wanting to do a daily for the entire year, it ends up getting a little bit expensive. So keep that in mind. The next things I want to cover are these new reflections and intentions notebooks that are, like I just mentioned, new this year. And so I've never seen these before. So let me take these out of the covers and then I can talk about these in a little bit more depth. Before I do that really quickly, I just wanted to show you, these are both A5 size. They both have 60 pages in them. There's 30 sheets of paper. For a total of 60 pages. And so this one is the daily reflections and gratitude, and the blue one is the daily intentions. So let me open these up really quickly. Okay, so here these are, they're absolutely beautiful. Like I have, oh man, they're just gorgeous. So the daily reflections and gratitude, they both have vegan leather covers again, so they're thicker than normal, but they're still kind of like bendable. So that's something a little bit different or kind of unexpected. I didn't really know what to expect, but they're thick but not hard bound, if that makes sense. They're both A5, like was on the tag. And then the colors of these, this is what I think they are considering Storm. It's like a very dark gray. And then again, this is Sky. This is the same color as the daily planner that I just showed you. So let's go through these each. So we'll go through the daily intentions notebook. This is considered like their morning intentions notebook, and these both are $16. So keep that in mind as we're going through them. You have the inside here, and then it's your daily intentions notebook with your intro. You have just some basic information about how to find Makselife online, and then a quote here at the beginning. And what I will mention just at the beginning here is that every single page is the same. There is no break in the pages to have something different. So I'm just going to show you this first spread. It's all the same throughout the entire planner. So what you're really doing is you're just doing one page a day, and it's just your daily intentions. It just asks you some questions. How am I feeling today? How do I want to feel? What do I need to do? Or what do I need today to feel good? What do I want to attract to myself today? Today I will let go of or say no to. Today I will embrace. And who is someone I want to make a mindful connection with today? What is something I can do in 15 minutes or less today that will positively impact my life? And then a mantra or affirmation. So really, this is just a journal that you take out in the morning. You maybe take 5 or 10 minutes to write down all of these things. And it just helps you start your day out intentionally is essentially the biggest focus for this. So this is, like I mentioned, the same throughout the entire book. There are 60 different pages in here, so you'll be able to use this for a couple months if you're doing it every single day. And what's really nice is these play really well with the next one I'm going to show you, which is kind of like an evening reflections and gratitude, as well as their quarterly companion notebooks. If you're not interested in the flagship, you can get the companion notebooks, which is just their goal setting. But these also work really well with like other planners. So if this is just something you want to buy on its own, this is a really, really great option. The daily reflections and gratitude notebook here, again, same thing, it's again $16, and it also has all of the same pages in it, so you really only have one page per day. See here, nothing really changes throughout the whole thing, but you have your daily reflections and gratitude. So how I felt today, energy level, mood. Today I'm grateful for the following, something that brought me joy. Wins, how I grew today. Today I'm proud of myself for, and what is something I can do tomorrow to make it a good day. So just a very quick way to just close out the day, show some gratitude, wrap things up, and really reflect on how the day went, but how you can make the next day even better. So again, these are both new to Makselife, and I'm really excited to use these and see kind of how it goes, because I don't have a really good like daily habit in terms of journaling or anything like that. So hopefully I can get into maybe 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night, pulling these out and just kind of doing a quick little journal reflection and planning type session. So I'm really excited about these. The thing that I will mention in partnership with these now is probably the thing that I am the most excited for this entire launch. And that is the Folio. So the Folio is something also that is new from Makselife this year. And I am so excited for this. I know I just said that, but this is the Folio. I got the Luna cover. So when I said earlier that the undated planners come in a couple different colors, this is one of those colors. So you'd be able to get your daily planner in a color similar to this. It's like a very dark teal, and I'm hoping it's coming across on the video. It is so beautiful. This is probably one of my favorite colors. And then you can also, I'm pretty sure there's a companion notebook or some type of notebook that is also that color, but I'll have to take a look at what that is. But these folios are an A5 size, and what they're meant for is to house your A5 notebooks, whether that's like these notebooks, your companion notebooks, a dot grid notebook. I even have experimented and fit some planners in here, which I'll show you in a little bit. But let's take a quick look at the inside of this planner. So it has a magnetic closure here, so you can see it just kind of closes very, very easily. It doesn't have any other closures. There's no like elastics or anything like that. But when you open it up, it's just a very simple interior. It's this very soft fabric on the inside. It feels amazing. You have a pen loop over here that's just elastic. It's gray. You have a back pocket here, and then you have more room back behind here. On this side, you have another pocket with some card slots up front, and then you have this pocket back behind, and then you have your little strings here to put your notebooks in. So if I wanted to set this up to carry these different notebooks, you just need to flip your books to the middles, and you'll be able to see the binding and like the threads and everything in the center. And then you just slide that through in here, and it'll be in there. Same with this one. if you wanted to set that up, you can do this. So it holds 4 different notebooks because there are 4 strings. So I still have a couple left if I wanted to do that, but then I have this spot to carry my reflections and my gratitude and my intentions notebooks. So this is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited to see how people set this all up. It's also very sturdy feeling. I've had some people ask, just when I've done some sneak peeks and everything of this, like, is it flimsy? Is it hard feeling? How does it compare to the Erin Condren folios in terms of their kind of traveler's notebook style folios? And this is way more stiff. It's way harder, especially the front and back covers. There obviously isn't the elastic enclosure on these, so that's a little bit different compared to Erin Condren. But this is something where, like, I can't even really bend the cover. Like, I just can't. So you can see how flimsy or how sturdy that is. So I'm going to take these out because I am going to try a couple things for you here. I actually posted about this on Instagram. Is I've been testing out a couple different planners in here, and when I have an A5 planner, like not a companion notebook or a small notebook like this, but like an actual thick planner, I don't think I am going to be putting them on the strings. I'm more comfortable like tucking them in the back or tucking them in this pocket here. So the couple that I've tried an Erin Condren Softbound planner, and I've also tried the Hobonichi Cousin planner, and both of those actually fit for me. So I will say for me they fit, but I've talked to a few other people where they didn't fit. So it might just be based on either the planner and who and what like production your planner went through, or maybe what production your folio went through. But let me show you really quickly. I have the Hobonichi Cousin here for 2023, and I did notice when I tried this out before, I got some like residue that was somewhere in this back pocket. So that is something that keep an eye out for if you do get this and this is what you're planning to do. There's some type of like residue or something in here that makes it kind of hard on the bottom part. And again, I'm trying to be very, very careful with this because it's a tight fit. You're not going to be able to use like the clear cover with your Hobonichi and put it in here. But you can get it in if you're very careful. Okay, so here it is. I got that in. It closes perfectly, and then there is some room in here for an additional notebook. So if I did want to put one of these notebooks in, I think that that would fit and it would still close. I didn't obviously put the intentions notebook or whatever in like the strings or anything, but you can see that that's what that looks like. There's additional room over here for like pens and stuff like that, but there's not a lot more room in here other than just for this. So if you wanted to put more stuff in here, if I tried to put another notebook, it gets a little bit too full to the point where like the magnet won't close very well. And this, it closed, but it's really gonna pop open like at any second if you touch it. So really, if you wanted to put like a Hobonichi Cousin or anything, you can really only do one extra notebook. So that is something to think about. I know I say that all the time. When I'm editing my videos, I'm always like, man, I'm telling these people to think about like everything. So sorry in advance if I just keep saying that. But anyways, that is how the Cousin fits in here. And then you have a little bit of space in here. But again, if you have one of these notebooks in here, I don't really know how much space you would have for other things in these pockets and everything. So the other option for this is if your planner doesn't fit in this back pocket, and this is the fun part, is getting it out, is you can also put it in just this pocket in the back, and it still will just sit in here and it still is fine. I feel like this is still very, very sturdy. It doesn't stick out the top or anything like that. So that is another option because I really think this is a great little folio, especially for the price. So there is that. The only other planner I'll try in here for the time being is the Erin Condren Softbound. So let me grab that. So I just got this Erin Condren Softbound as part of like a little package so I could do some reviews and everything for Erin Condren. And I will say it doesn't fit very well in the back. So you might not be able to slide it in. I just didn't want to force it because I'm actually planning on gifting this to someone. But if you want, it definitely does fit in this back pocket. And there we go. So you can see it does close. It has the same kind of space that the other one did. The biggest difference between this one and the Hobonichi is the cover is just a little bit thicker. So you can probably fit this and maybe another one of these notebooks in here. And I was able to actually fit a daily petite planner from Erin Condren in there with the A5 size planner, but it's a little bit iffy, especially if you were to start getting a lot of stickers and everything. So there's that. So I just wanted to answer those questions because I know a lot of people maybe have a planner that they're already set on in terms of like another brand, but I think this Folio is an awesome option, even if you're not getting a Makselife planner. But what I think I plan to do is have my Hobonichi cousin in here, and then I think I'm gonna get a companion notebook and use 1/4 at a time. So I have like everything in one spot where I have my goal setting and my kind of like catch-all planner in here. I think that's what I plan to do. So I will use the Makselife system, but I am one of those people that has a planner that works. So I'll kind of dabble in the Flagship and the daily and everything, but I always kind of go back to the same ones. So that is it for the Folio. I'll give you kind of another view here. It has the strings reinforced with this metal on the side, and then the back just says Makselife. Again, really smooth. It feels so nice. I am like, just congrats to Sierra and her whole team at Makselife for coming out with this. Like, I think this is just an incredible product. I can't say enough about it. I probably am so excited about this because I've been looking for folios for other planners like the Hobonichi Cousin and some other planners for the past couple months and just haven't really found one that I'm super happy with. So now that I see this, I'm like, finally I can stop looking, and I'm just super excited. So it's probably why I'm like irrationally happy about this, but honestly, it is absolutely beautiful. I will say the Folio also comes in the Storm color. So it comes in, I believe, this cover color, this gray, and these Folios are only $42. So I think that is a very good price for this planner, especially with how sturdy it is. And since it holds up to 4 notebooks here, it's just a very, very useful and versatile item. The next thing we're gonna look at is actually a free gift with purchase if you purchase before the 24th. So this will come free with your orders if you order before October 24th. It is a 2022 year-end reflections notebook. It's thin, and I think this is just very functional though. So this is just like a dark blue cover. It's not the same like leather cover as the others because I think this is almost like a temporary booklet you would carry with you just for a little bit. But what this is for is to really help you reflect on 2022 in your goal setting process for 2023. So that is something that isn't really in the planners right now, like I talked about. It doesn't really have like a year-end overview or anything like that, or reflection. So this really helps. So you have a note from Sierra here at the front. You have your year in review of your compass assessment. And so this is essentially the same as your Q4 compass assessment if you do kind of the year end at Q4, and then you're able to kind of see where you were at the start of 2022 versus the current score that you have. And then you have a bunch of prompts here to help you reflect. So what were your wins, your accomplishments, what were your highlights, what were your challenges, your lessons, what are you most proud of this year, your growth, your gratitude, what's working and what's not working in your life, your impact. So what I think this is really nice is, how do I want people to experience me, and in what ways do I want to create an impact in the lives of my loved ones or the world at large, which is just a really, really awesome way to reflect. What adjustments do I want to make in 2023? and then just some overall reflections. 3 words to describe the year, 3 words to describe how I felt, 3 words to describe how I want to feel in 2023, what I'm most excited about, what areas of life will be my focus, what I'm going to say no to, what I'm going to say yes to, what I'm going to stop apologizing for, and who or what will be my support network in the coming year. And then this is a spot to write a letter to yourself. Write a letter for yourself for 2023. Use this as an opportunity to remind yourself of what you're working towards and why, to give yourself words of encouragement or to channel a message from your future self. Have fun and be kind to yourself. And then you have either more space for your letter or space to brain dump. And that is what the rest of this planner includes. So I thought this was a big surprise to me. I didn't ask for this or anything. They just sent it along. And when I saw this, I was like, wow, this is exactly what I need at the end of the year. I think this is a perfect way to reflect. So I'm planning to carry this in my folio with my planner for a little while. So I can do some reflecting and everything going into the new year. This 2022 reflections journal will be $8 on the site, but like I mentioned, it'll be free with the orders if you order before 10/24. So you have about like a couple days to order and get this for free. Otherwise it's $8. The 2 kind of last products I have are kind of more, I would say, like accessories, if that makes sense. And I think I actually got this last year and I just forgot about it. But it is a sticky note that is the weekly overview from the daily. So there's really nothing more to this or different with this. It is pretty much the same that I can remember. It just has the header at the top. These are sticky notes, so you can stick them wherever. So this is a nice pad of, I don't quite know how many pages. I would say there's a good like 60 to 90 of them if I were to guess. So, I mean, it should get you pretty far, obviously over a year, because this is the weekly overview. So you should have this for quite a while. This is, let's see, this costs, oh, it has 60 sheets. Sorry, I literally just realized that I had written that down. It has 60 sheets. It's A5 size and it costs $10. And then the last thing that I'm really excited about and that I haven't really been able to take a look at was this stencil bookmark. Trying to get it out of the package without making too much noise. But we have here a stencil bookmark. It is actually like a metal, which is actually amazing. I wasn't really expecting that, but it has just a little bookmark thing up here. It has little check boxes, octagons, hearts, and circles, and then just different sizes of rectangles, flags, everything like that. So I am actually very excited about this. Let me try it out in the daily and see what this looks like. At first glance, I would be a little bit worried about it like ripping my page or something like that, but I don't think it should be an issue. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that that's too bad. If I were to like close this, it doesn't stick out really far, which is really, really nice. I will say mine has like a little edge on it. I might have to like file it down. It has like a little metal section that's sticking out, and I can imagine I would probably scrape myself or catch it on something, so I need to do that. But I don't think that this would have any issues in your planner, and it really hasn't left a huge mark. It does have a little circle here, but it's not like really, really imprinted or torn or anything like that. So that is kind of nice. And I'm wondering if maybe you can also, it's going to be the same type of thing, but you can do it like on the back of the page. And maybe that would be a little bit different because it looks like it's kind of bending it a little bit differently. So let me do this and press on it. I'm like testing this in real time for you. So let me see what this looks like. Opening up your planner is a little bit different when you do that, but that has a little bit more of a circle. So I don't know, just something to consider is if you're using the bookmark, it might like indent on a page a little bit. So that is something to also consider when you are buying this. I will say that I think that if I were to do these like squares, I'm going to test this out, and I'm trying to line this up as best as I possibly can. If I were to test these out and draw some squares, and I did an awful job there. Let me try this one more time. So I'm trying to line these up like between the lines as well as like vertically, so they're not going like horizontal or diagonal across the spread. And these are like spaced perfectly for the lines in the weekly actions. Ignore this, that was really stupid. I literally only paid attention to them being like vertically lined up and not like lined up between the lines here. So you see that these are like perfectly lined up between the lines in the weekly actions. I imagine they're also, if I'm just gonna like quickly do this, I'm not gonna do a bunch of squares or anything. I imagine that they are also lined up pretty well between the lines in here. Yep, that is absolutely perfect in the daily there. So you can create more squares if you want to. Obviously, there's a checklist in here, but that is really, really cool. I am actually very excited about this. I hadn't really looked at this before I just did this review, mainly because I just didn't really think it could be anything like super, super cool. But I really like that it's metal, and I love these different like shapes of different things that they have available on here, especially like these little flags and everything. They are actually going to be really helpful, especially when I'm doing my planning in like a planner that doesn't have a lot of stuff in it, like the Hobonichi Cousin, stuff like that. So I'm really excited about this. The stencil bookmark is $12. Again, it's metal, so I really do think that this is something that's going to last a long time. So I would definitely pay $12 for this. So I think it's definitely worth it. So let me jump into items that I didn't buy, but that I know will be available on the 20th. So I'm going to just kind of bring a few things in front of me in case I need to reference them. But we have quarterly inserts, which are unpunched inserts that are undated. They include the goal setting. So you can get those. They're $44 a quarter. So they've been updated to reflect any changes to the coaching and that sort of thing. So those are the most up-to-date version. And again, they're unpunched. So if you want like a disc system or something like that, that's a really good option. And they have the goal setting in them as well. The companion notebooks, so it's a set of 4 notebooks and then 1 instructional notebook. They're A5 size, they're undated, they don't have any weekly or daily layouts included in them. Those companion notebooks are $58 for the set of 4 plus the instructional booklet. So if you already have a planner outside of Makselife, you don't want to use the Flagship or the daily or anything like that, you can get those companion notebooks, and those have all of the goal setting stuff in them. So that is an amazing option if you already have a system that works and you're just looking for the goal setting side of things. That's $58. There are dot grid notebooks, which are 60 pages. Those are $12, and they are very similar in feel to these notebooks here with like the leather covers and everything. The other thing that people are very, very excited about, but they haven't been shipped to us yet, are the Moxie markers. And those are markers and highlighters that color coordinate with the different areas of life in the Flagship planner. So you can see when you're looking at your compass assessment, I can open this up and show you, or you're looking at your like weekly action items. The different areas of life have different colors, and the Moxie markers are highlighters, double-sided markers that will color coordinate with these different categories, and they're also labeled, so you're able to actually see which one goes where. Those are $24 for a pack of 9. It comes with each of these colors plus 1. They call it Moxie Gray, so it's just kind of a very neutral gray color. And that is it for kind of like the newer items so far. They also have a lot of older items still available on their site from 2022. So if you're interested in some of those items, I would take a look. They are like the 6-month planner, the 6-month, I believe 6-month insert, stuff like that. Those are on the website, as well as the 2022 version of the companion notebooks and everything like that. So there are going to be some things that are from 2022 still up on the site. The one big thing is they have their digital release as well. So like I mentioned, I won't be going through all the digital items like on camera with my iPad, but I will just explain and go through really quickly what the digital options are. So if you want the 12-month goal planner, they have the vertical and horizontal options. It's the full planner. It is fully hyperlinked. They were saying that for all of their digital items, there's like over 100,000 hyperlinks. But it's a hyperlinked weekly planner. It comes, like I said, in vertical and horizontal. Full planner has all the goal setting, has all of that functionality. That is $42. If you want the 12-month daily planner, you, again, hyperlinked, the full planner has all the goal stuff in there. That is $48. There are digital sticker bundles. There's a bold bundle and a pastel bundle. It includes those 2 books. That is $24. So it includes a lot of different stickers that are color coordinating, all of that stuff. You get the free digital version of the 2022 Reflections notebook if you buy your digital items prior to October 24th. So it's the same book that the physical version is based on, it's just digital. There's a digital version of the Daily Intentions notebook. That is $22. That is $22. And then the Daily Reflections notebook is also $22. So those come in digital form as well. And if you want to buy them both, it's $40 when you buy them together. So you get about a $4 discount. There are also digital notebooks. And so these are really interesting because you get the notebook and there's 12 dividers, but then there's 20 different styles of notes pages. So there's like Cornell notes, regular line paper, dot grid, like graph paper. There are so many different options. You can get colorful or neutral. There's some color in there when you choose the colorful version. So you can get whichever you prefer, but it's $16. Then you can use that. Again, there's some dividers included. There's different notes pages, different styles that you can use. If you wanted 2 of them though, if you're using them for different things, you could get 2 for $30. So that, as far as I know, that's it for digital. So you get the planners, you have sticker bundles, you have the Daily Reflections and Intentions books, and some notebooks are kind of what is making up their digital release this year. So other than that, that is pretty much it. I hope I covered everything. I feel like I obviously have given a ton of information, but I would love to answer any questions you have or any recommendations. I've used Makselife products on and off over the past couple years. And I have been pretty consistent with their goal setting. I haven't shared as much of it, especially this year. I just haven't shared a lot of my goal stuff in general. But I've been using their items. I'm part of Club Moxie. There's a lot of different things that I'm involved in with Makselife. So if you have any questions, if you need recommendations, all of that, I would be happy to point you in the right direction or get you in contact maybe with someone who is sharing the item you're interested in if I wasn't able to, all of that. So if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I do have a link in the description box below that is an affiliate link. I would really appreciate if you are able to, or if you feel like it, using that link to do your shopping. It really does help me. It doesn't impact your purchase in any way. It doesn't add any money to your purchase, but it just helps me do these types of reviews. So I'm able to continue bringing you this stuff and being able to create this content. So that is in the description box, as well as just all of the information I've said in terms of prices and all of that. So again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I know this has been super long, but hopefully it gave you the information you needed. And I am so excited for launch day. I hope you're excited. I hope you love the products as much as I do. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? All of that stuff. I would love to hear what you think. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.